Hi, and Happy New Year. I don't think I said that on my Wheel of Fortune. Um, I'll probably be saying that at least until Thursday. But, yeah, I wanted to go on, I really did. I wanted to go on, Dreamlight Valley, but yesterday I literally stayed on there all day. So my story did not get worked on at all. Um, so we're gonna try to run out the timer. Um, I got on later than I wanted to. I got on at like 8:57. Um, on my husband's days off, he stays up forever and and doesn't care if I need to sleep. So yeah. So anyway, I ended up staying up until like 1 o'clock in the morning too. Not the best idea in the world. I mean, not the best situation in the world, but yeah. So, anyway, but I feel like I did pretty good on Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. I won both of them. Um, I got really lucky. The oh, it was Bewitched Sherlock Holmes. Hold on. Um, not that one. Bewitched Sherlock Holmes. Now we can download it. There we go. Yeah, I got really super lucky because on Wheel of Fortune, I knew the last answer. Um, uh, the category was TV, classic TV, and it was this big word to start with B, and I'm like, what the heck? And I suddenly thought of Bewitched, so I went and put that in there, and it, um, yeah, it was the answer. And then on Jeopardy, the last the last answer, they said something about Baker Street, so I just took a chance that it was Sherlock Holmes. Apparently, there's a statue of Sherlock Holmes at the Baker Street station, and I don't remember exactly what the whole thing was. Um, but I just guessed, and I thought it was cool. So, anyway, um, please look for that. It's going to be called Bewitched Sherlock Holmes. Sometimes, sometimes I get really good titles, like Bewitched Sherlock Holmes or Chocolate PlayStation. and then sometimes I get dumb one. Oh, or like what was it? I don't know. It was something like sexy male model Harry Houdini. Um, I'm definitely getting the first part wrong, but yeah, that's what that's pretty much what it was. And then I mean, but then I can get dumb ones like uh ones that don't go together at all whatsoever, like I can't think of any right now. They were dumb. Like I don't know, like Charlie Daniels filet mignon. It's the only thing that was popping into my head, so we'll go there. It'd be kind of funny if it was filet mignon Charlie Daniels, but you can't switch them because the one is Wheel of Fortune and the one is Jeopardy. So, or like another example would be like Carrots and Potatoes, the Wall Street Journal. I don't know, but I've determined that I'm going. I am determined that I'm gonna take the last puzzle, the bonus round puzzle from Wheel of Fortune and put it together with the final Jeopardy round and, use that as the title. I couldn't think of anything else, like what do you say? So it made sense. Use the last two puzzles. I mean the last two answers. Well, technically, on Jeopardy, it's a question. But you know what I mean. So anyway, I decided I was going to not go on Dreamlight Valley until I have 5 more pages done. That'll bring me up to 8. And then, well, if I can do 6, that would be even better because then there's 14 pages and I have 3 done already. So if I can do 6 today, that's 9, and then there's only 5 pages left of the chapter. And then we get to find out how long the next chapter is, and the next chapter, and the next chapter. Yeah. I think there's only like 3 chapters left. But since I've got about 50 pages left, since I've got about 50 pages left, and I should be super excited and wanting to finish it and all that, but for some reason I'm not. I think it's because I know that there's another book after that, and another book after that, and another book after that, and another book after that, etc., etc. Oh, I was thinking of somebody else who said um a version of after that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I finally remembered. Um, Danny, that's a girl character on Hocus Pocus, was um they only ever called her Danny, so I assume that she's Danielle. I know, never assume, but um she's probably Danielle, but they always called her Danny. But anyway, she was talking to Binks the cat and telling him that um her family will always take care of him. But the even better news is that once they take care of the Sanderson sisters, he gets to go to heaven. I think it would have looked better than that though. They just made it look like a um they just made it look like an English countryside. And they went and like his little sister Emily, she's been there for ever since the Sanderson sisters unalived her. So, like you would think that she'd know how to get around in heaven, better than he does. Yeah, better than he does. And they're just walking along like they've been there together forever. I don't know. Maybe somebody didn't overanalyze it like I do. Um, I just thought of that also. So unfortunately, we're going toward the sun right now. We're still trying to take this down to at least a decent length. We need to take it down at least 10, I think. At least 10. Um, for now anyway. Need to take it down at least 10 and then maybe even 20. I don't want to be able to see the bottom, you know. When you're looking down in the ocean, you cannot see the bottom. And if you're playing at the ocean, you got to be very, very careful because there's, I think they call it the undertow. Um, it's that thing where you're standing, you're standing in the water and you were right in front of the whale, and then like you're to the right of the whale. I'm just using a whale as an example because that could be in the ocean, but and you think it's funny because, oh my goodness, the water moved me. It's not funny. That undertow can actually take you out into the middle of the ocean, and if you don't know how to swim or you're not a ocean swimmer, you can get seriously hurt. In fact, I actually don't know what happened, but the guy who plays Theo in um I'm pretty sure he did some other things too, but the guy who plays Theo in the Cosby Show, that's exactly what happened to him. I I think they said. Anyway, he was at the beach having fun, and then all of a sudden he's gone. Um. So, what are we gonna. Yeah, I don't even remember what part of the story we're at. Oh, actually, I do. Kinda. That was weird. Okay, so it looked like. It was just the way he filmed it. I've got an 8 hour Pops Disney Adventure. Pops Disney Adventures playing in silently in the background, and it was weird because had the way he recorded, um, this lady was walking, on, you know, in New Orleans Square, going past Pirates of the Caribbean. Um, he was filming the water side, not the ride side, but she was like just in the bottom left hand corner, so it kind of looked like it was a film in the background. Yeah, like it's a playback of a recording in the background, and then they like um uh they added her in, but she was really in the thing the whole time. Anyway, it was cool. um oh, my my GOLGLE home system keeps saying it's snowy outside. And then I get up and I look out the window and I'm like, nope, that's grass. And get terribly disappointed. I don't like that. I want it to. Well, okay, so I want it to snow, but I also don't want it to snow because, our brakes aren't that great. And, my husband's like, oh, the brakes will be fine. You know, he knows that they're not that great, and it's like the truck is so old that you can't even get them for aftermarket anymore. You have to like go online and hope to God that somebody actually has the part that you need, and yeah, it's just not good. Um, Although they keep saying it's a stuck open solenoid, and I think that would be really funny if you just lightly tap it with a hammer and it's open and it's fixed. I don't know, I keep getting the idea that that's all we need to do. But I'm not a mechanic. I'm really not. Um, basically, I only know, like I know how to drive them, and I know that if all of a sudden your car's throwing batteries, they're getting drained really, really fast, it's your alternator, whether the car parts place says it is or not, because they got that little machine and it goes and tells you, no, you don't need a new alternator, you're fine. But your truck keeps throwing batteries, so it doesn't make any sense, right? Well, I don't remember where I learned that. I think my dad, but um, okay, I'll put it this way: it's either my dad or my aunt Cheryl. Um, one of the one of those two told me that you know if it's throwing batteries, you need a new alternator. So, so me and my husband kept getting in a big fight because I'm saying it's the alternator. I'm being one answer girl there. And I knew what I was talking about. apparently. And, my husband only wanted to listen to the guys at the car parts place because, they've got a machine. Yeah, well, there's just some things that you can just, you, you just know. Like, I used to drive the doctor's nuts at Kaiser Permanente in Fairfield, California, because I knew my kid had a fever. And she usually ran 96.8 instead of 98.6. And so I could tell that she had a fever, but I didn't bother to, actually take her temperature. So then they took her temperature and they were always amazed. Mama knows, you know. I don't know if she still runs 98.6, but I mean 96.8, but she probably does. Apparently my dad's like that too, so. Anyway, it's got to be something we can talk about. Okay, well, I am like thinking very highly. Okay, let's try that again. I am thinking very highly of oh good. Of yes, okay. Anyway, I'm thinking very highly of trying to be come on. Bewitched. Sherlock yeah. Sherlock Holmes and okay. Wheel of Fortune Jeopardy. There we go. Anyway, I'm thinking very much so of doing, like a chapter of, a chapter of Finding Love and then a chapter of Test and Love. I don't know if I'm going to do it that way after I'm done with Lessons in Love, but I'm thinking about doing it because I want to know what happens. It's driving me crazy. I don't know what happens, and I mean, I know what happens at a certain point, because like I said, in a previous video, Jake has a birthday party, and one of his friends decided to bring alcohol to the party. I totally forgot about that before. Alcoholic drinks. I want to say whiskey, probably. On Disney movies, it's the rum. Why is the rum always gone? Well, my brother told me at one point that, like, whiskey's the most potent or something like that, so, yeah. They, they're always drinking whiskey, although, I, like, had to look up on Google because I'm not a drinker. you know, I don't drink alcohol, but I had to look up on. Well, that's distracting. I'm pretty sure I have that noise turned off, and then all of a sudden, and the fireworks are in the other one. So if you can hear me taking these out, I am so sorry. Um, I had to turn fire spreads on. um, not fire spreads. Sorry, no. TNT explodes. I had to turn that on. So I could. Okay, so. Okay, maybe I was turning something else. I don't know. But anyway, I had to turn that on so I could explode some of the stuff, and then I realized that it reached over to that wall there, and I'm like, what? Because it was over there somewhere. You know, the spot that I was trying to explode was like over there somewhere. And it reached all the way to over here. And I'm like, oh, heck no. So anyway, oh, sorry. So anyway, he has a birthday party, and his brother Hunter brought him a date. I'm pretty sure Hunter had one of his own, but I can't remember. Like I think it was, the group of friends, and everybody's got a date but Jake at that point. And Hunter brought a girl named Michelle, and it just happens to be, it just happens to be the it just happens to be the girl that Jake grew up with and was gonna marry when he was older. But it turns out that they moved there because her mom has a weak heart. She got stabbed in the heart with a sword, and so she's got a weak heart. She somehow survived, kind of thing. And like if the ship's doctor's son would have been there, it would have been different. He could have saved her, and there wouldn't have been any problems. But since the ship's doctor's son was since the ship's doctor's son lived with his mom during the school year, he wasn't there. So anyway, they moved to Australia, down the street from Jake and his mom, and Um, and Jake did not know that until the birthday party. So anyway, they hang out the whole entire birthday party. They do not drink. And when his mom and his well, I don't think they were married at that time. Like yeah, they weren't married at that time. So technically he's uh, Hunter's Jake's best friend. He's the other best friend. He's been best friends with Morgan and Hayden since he was a kid because they all grew up on the ship together. But Hunter is his best friend that lives in Australia with him. So I really need to start putting my hair up in a ponytail before I start streaming. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, so he's like a brother, but he's not a brother, Anyway, and so anyway, she goes back to her house after the party, or he drops her off, something like that. And anyway, they start dating after that. I am so confused right now. I think I forgot this section was here, and anyway, so like I said, they start dating, and just before she turns 18, disaster happens. Her mom, her mom passes away, and so the Australian version of Child Protective Services takes her away to her aunt's house in France, which Jake does not know where that is, but years later he does figure it out, and somebody else is living there, or it's like old abandoned or something like that. Because if I were an apartment owner, I would not have rented that place out for a very long time after that. But anyway, you'll have to read the book to find out what happened. I said what happened last time, but I'm trying to get you interested in reading my books. So anyway, he's there to go to college and to try to find Michelle. Well, the problem is that he has no idea where to look. But he did get a poorly drawn map that she left at the apartment. Anyway, I'm tired. Yeah, so I'm going to stop at 11 instead of going 3 hours like I usually do. I'm going to try to stop at 11 and actually get breakfast and, work my story and all that fun stuff and stay off Dreamlight Valley until I've got at least 5 pages done. Like I said, if I can get 6, that would be even better. there seem to be a lot of pages where, it's like Sean did this and Sean did that, but there's no talking, so I don't have to bust it up further. Break it up further. Break it down. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how to word that, but anyway. We don't have to have more sausage and bacon, do we? Dang it. So on New Year's Day, he had sausage and bacon, and that was our breakfast. You're probably saying, what, no eggs? Well, he makes them a certain way, and I like them a certain other way, so yeah, it doesn't work out. I make scrambled, and he likes them fried. Sometimes I think he likes them scrambled, but not really, so. I don't like fried. It tastes, I don't know, it's got a texture to it that's just not right for me. But anyway, so he's going to college and he's trying to find Michelle, but he's kind of he looked at the map and it like she was drawing the map and she got stopped in what she was doing. So like I said, I wished I would have a credit card. He's saying Denny's for Christmas Day was a one-shot deal. We can't do that all the time. And it's like, I understand that one, because it was $50-something, and then after you added the tip, it was $70-something. Damn, that's a $20 tip. It's crazy. 20. Yes, it was, because the bill was 57 or something like that. And by the time it came out, it was 73 or something like that. I can do math, No, apparently you can't. Well, I don't care. I saw the numbers on the screen. It was 50-something when it started out, and it was 70-something afterwards. Because you're always trying to convince them that you're right and I'm wrong. I'm not. I am. It was 50-something when it started out, and it was 70-something afterwards. It's almost a $20 tip, and I'm like, what the... Actually, she kind of deserved it, though, because she was really good. Except for that she didn't bring me a second Coca-Cola. Refill. It's just a waitress that, is... doesn't really have time to go over and help. shouldn't come and check on us that often. I mean, usually we go in there and, I order a Sprite or a raspberry tea. Okay. Usually I order raspberry tea, but, I have decided I only like brisk when it comes to raspberry tea. So that's kind of a risk if they've got Fuse instead. I don't know, Fuse just doesn't taste right anymore. That's not what it said on their screen. No, it isn't. Well, then how big is the tip? Yeah. My point. Still, it was a big tip. So anyway, um... So anyway, it turns out that Hayden has been talking to the new girl at Shatanis. Shatanis is something we don't talk about on this stream. But, yeah, we could talk about it on a GTA stream. I think. Because I either got in trouble for something that shouldn't have been on, I either got in trouble for something that shouldn't have been on the stream, or they were just cleaning house and screwed up. But, whatever happened. What? What? Well, yeah, that lasts a whole year. Yeah, we had to get 365, and instead of being $99.99 or whatever it was before, it was like $125. 132 after tax. It was ridiculous. It's like, you're not getting any new features. You're not getting, like, world-class support. Yeah, you're not getting, world-class support. If you go and complain to them that, something's not working right, you're going to get a forum. And my forum question is never on there. Like, I have a really big question, and I don't know that anybody in the world knows the answer. I just want to know how to start page numbers in a 365 Word document, not on the first page, but on the first page of the book. The page that says chapter 1. And I actually talked to somebody and he set that up, but I don't know how to do it. I wanted to learn how to do it. And it's like he could do it, but he didn't know how to explain it to me. So, yeah, that was not helping. But what I do is I go and take the one where that page is on, where the book is set up properly like that, and I just go and change the, change all the words on the inside of the book. change the chapters to what is actually in the book, and all that stuff. The the page that says chapter 1 Thursday or something like that. I was trying to think of a really good one and couldn't think of anything. Sorry. But yeah. Dude, what are we going to talk about for 19 minutes? Oh my goodness. Okay, so anyway, Hayden's been talking to this girl in Shatana's, and and it turns out that she knows Michelle. Well, they go in there one day to, because Jake has the ship, the Raven, or was it just Raven? Anyway, whatever, the Raven, and he does not want to be captain. He's okay being navigator, but he's not okay being captain. So they want to offer it to the girl that Hayden's been talking to. Her name's Morgan. And while they're there, they find Michelle. Yeah, I wasn't going to say that, but, you might want to find out, all the juicy little details. And Michelle's got a secret, but she doesn't tell him that at that time. I think I upgraded it to she told him that she has a secret, and she'll tell him when she gets back. Well, they ask Morgan to be the captain of the ship, and Jake and Michelle make plans to have lunch together after the thing that she needs to go do. So he's got her back, and he's very happy about that. And you'll have to read the book to find out all the other stuff that happened. Oh no! I want to make that all solid inside, but I also want to pretend that cave doesn't exist, so... Anyway, then like I said, in Test and Love, the big highlight thing that I always remember is that at one point Adam is over for dinner, and he's supposed to be home right after dinner, but he stayed later hanging out with Ashley and getting advice about dating, because he has to go back to America. He's not going to be able to stay in Ireland to keep dating her. Well, Adam's aunt calls Ashley up and says, hey, he was supposed to be here. He was supposed to be at the airport by now. And so Ashley goes out there and goes, why did you lie to me? She's saying it very angry. And he goes, I didn't mean to. And yeah. So anyway, Sean volunteers to take him to the airport. and they end up getting the motorcycle from the ship because it's held in a crate just in case Morgan needs it while they're out. Usually I have them take a taxi or a cab. um, you know, it's just, I don't know why while they're on ship, the motorcycle's there. And then any other time, it's in the garage, in a place of honor. But anyway, so they get the motorcycle, and I don't know why they couldn't have taken, you know, they could have taken Sean's truck. They could have taken, someone's, uh, fast sports car. But no, they take the motorcycle. I think I thought it was really cool at the time and a really cool idea. But now I'm thinking I don't like that idea. But it makes sense because, it makes sense because they, because a ninja meets them at Adam's aunt's house and steals the motorcycle. No, wait. They stole the motorcycle at the airport. Anyway, so she's probably hoping that, the ninja's probably hoping that that Sean will get in trouble, but he goes and decides to, they're asking him to fly the airplane to America and back again. And they do, but the thing is that they gotta go from Ireland to New York to Texas to California to Hawaii and back again. But when they go back again, when he flies it back again, there's a problem because there's a storm in Texas. But before any of that happens, Sean's been flying for a while, and he needs to get out and stretch his legs, so he does. But he gets his wrist tied behind his back, and he's sat down on the floor, not quite good, not quite close enough to the wall to be comfortable. He can't lean on the wall. But just before that happened, he asked Adam, "How long have you guys been sitting like that?" Because him and at least Sean's grandparents were, and I think a couple of other people, but anyway, they were tied to their chairs or handcuffed to their chairs. I don't remember if it was tied or handcuffed. Knowing me, it could have been both. But anyway, they, it's agreed that, when they get to Texas, that the co-pilot, had to be the pilot as soon as Sean got, um, as soon as Sean got captured. Uh, so anyway, it sounds a lot better when you actually read the book. But yeah, they're, um, Adam explains, about since the seatbelt sign went off. And, oh, yeah, I get it. Okay. Anyway, so he gets everybody dropped off and they're heading toward Hawaii. And Sean explains that, because they're debating back and forth. Do they want Sean, do they want Sean there? Do they want to use Sean as the getaway vehicle with the airplane? Or do they want to find another way to get out of there? Do they want to find another way to get out of there? So they parachute down and leave him as the only witness. And Sean explains, well, I'm an artist. I'm a very good, getaway driver. And I'm a high school student. And so they decide we'll parachute down. What's up, baby? Hold on. My cat's got something on his face and I'd really like to get it off of him. Hold on. Come here. There. That's all I wanted to do. You had something on your face. You needed it out. So I took it off. Oh! Okay, so somebody was trying to talk to me. Chris underscore Blaze 1. And I do apologize. I did not mean to not pay attention to the chat, but I got into telling my story and getting this taken down that I totally forgot to look. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. So on the way home, Sean acquires a I don't know, I made her a Marine or an Air Force or something. Anyway, she's in the military. And they call her Officer Steph. And that's because my sister is Stephanie. Well, one of my sisters is Stephanie. And I call her Steph all the time. So I was like, that'd be great. Officer Steph. But then I couldn't get the AI, the previous AI, to say it correctly. I was so mad. I ended up having to spell it, and don't ask me how this spells Steph, but Staiph or something like that. Yeah. AI can be really awesome sometimes, but It can be really stupid too. It just depends on, who is programming it. And if I knew how to, if I knew how to do that kind of thing, I would make my own program and sell it. Um, I would come up with my own and have the AI say it exactly the way it needs to be said every single time. The only thing that I can't figure out is like, how do you misspell the word the? Because I've had problems where the AI didn't say it or the AI said it wrong. And like the instead of the. And there wasn't two E's there. You know. Anyway, we are going to end this in about 3 minutes. So I'm going to remind you, I write books. They're available on Amazon in hardback, paperback, and ebook. They are The Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 1, Pirate's Daughter, The Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 2, Misfortune, The Rolling Sea Beginnings Book 3, Hard Times. Later in the series, The Rolling Sea Traitor, sorry. Uh, Traitor Book 1, Esperanza's Party. The Rolling Sea, Traitor Book 1, Esperanza's Party. There you go. And the Rolling Sea, Traitor Book 2, The Island. I'm working on the Rolling Sea, Traitor Book 3, Lessons in Love. And hopefully it'll be out by the end of January and I can start in on the next book. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm going to sure try. I know I was saying that all of December and it didn't work out, but I'm gonna try. I only got 50 pages left. Or about 50 pages left, I should say. Um, might have less than 50 pages. I don't remember right now. Let's see if we can find out. Really? Okay, I am working on 36. So 336 out of 380. So, yeah, that's 44 pages to go. There you go. It's 44 pages to go. I really ought to be feeling that let's do this. And I don't know why, but I'm not. I'm going to be very happy when when it's done. I know that, and then I'll be able to listen to it. And one of the books I need to figure out what chapter it is and redo that whole entire chapter because of one little thing. One little piece where I had Ashley talking and and I try not to have like say Ashley said, Sean said, uh, William said, whatever. I try not to have that. I try to say, questioned, thought aloud, replied, commented. I try to have something interesting because there are so many books out there that that it's like, what's in the box? Nancy said. No, Nancy did not say that. Nancy questioned that. Nancy asked that. Nancy wondered that. You know, you could have put something else. But no, you just put said. Yeah, I don't like put inside of my books. I if I do, it's a very rare moment, and or you like well like I will put the teacher said this, but not William said, Ashley said, Sean said, whatever. You know, I will not say that if I can help it, or if I do say yeah, if I do put that, it's probably a placeholder, and I will be fixing it later, kind of thing. So if it's still in the book when you get to read it, um, I either couldn't think of a better word or I wasn't thinking. I don't know, because usually I've got a whole list somewhere on my computer where it's a whole bunch of different ways to say said without saying said. You know, commented, asked, wondered, replied, uh, growled. That was fun trying to get the AI saying that one. I think it ended up being GRAOWLED. Yeah, that made no sense. Or I took out the E and it said it correctly. But usually it ends up growledy. Yeah. But I'm using a much smarter program now. So, maybe the person who made Speech Low was like watching my videos one day and going, you know what? I think I will make something better. That would be really cool if like I inspired them to do that. You know, that would be awesome. I wouldn't even need the praise. I would just be happy that that's what it was. Um, because I use AI a lot. I like to listen to how the I like to listen to how it sounds and see if I like it. And if I don't, then change it. And if I do, um, I like to figure out how to change it so it sounds great. Oh, we're going on Sleeping. I mean, not Sleeping Beauty, but I'd like to see them make an actual Sleeping Beauty ride. I mean, they could have the same stuff that they had in the Sleeping Beauty experience. Um, I wouldn't mind that at all. I would not mind that at all. Oh, it's 11:04. I'm sorry. Okay. So yeah, I may or may not be working on um Finding Love and Testing Love at the same time. I don't know. It sounds like a great idea on the surface, um, but then when it gets into Media Player, it's going to be like we're listening to the one piece of the one story, and then it's going to be like, where's the rest of it? So I don't know. Yeah, it has been saying stick to one at a time. That may also be a thing. I don't know yet. It's like I'm very excited to work on both of them, and there's really only a few more. Um, I think there's only like four more left, but one of them is actually later in the series too, but it's before Esperanza's party. So we have okay, so I think we have Lost Memory, which is oh no, I can't. I'm not gonna tell you who that is. So we got Lost Memory, and then later when Chantel isn't born yet, we have Amnesia. And yeah, I'm saying amnesia like that on purpose. So, So you'll have to read the book to find out why. Because I can't really. Well, okay, I can remember one part. There's there's an enemy pirate who has decided that whatever bad has happened in her life, it's all Morgan's fault. That's all I'm gonna tell you. So, yeah, that's all I'm gonna tell you. Anyway, but that's all the other books. See, I remember that four is four for the beginnings. Four is finding love, and then five is missionary. Six I think is lost memory, and then we skipped on to amnesia. But we haven't done any of the. I mean, we haven't had any storyline between. So it's not gonna make sense, or not gonna make enough sense. And if I remember correctly, at one point, another character wants to take over the captaincy of the. Well, I know Jason wanted to take over the captaincy at one point, but then he agrees that she can be captain. But another time, you know, the one person says something, so he should be captain, and yeah, you have to read the book to find out. But yeah, I think the first six books are all together, and then, like I said, the amnesia will be a little bit later. So there's going to be something in between six and seven. It's just book seven for now. And then, yeah, because we don't even have the book where Ashley is born. I don't think I have that anywhere. I don't know, but I don't think we do. So anyway, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we'll figure it out. And okay, so if you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow and chat. And I am so sorry if I ignored your comment, because I did not even think to look over there, and I'm awake right now, so that's pretty bad. Yeah, there's a lot of days when I'm like half asleep awake. No, this time I'm awake. So I don't know, but anyway, I am very, very, very sorry that I did not see your comment sooner. And I wish there was a way to like click on the person's name and send them a message and apologize. But then I'm guessing that a bunch of people that play GTA might be very, very toxic to that person. And I don't know why you would be, but anyway, so if you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Uh, wait. Subscribe, notification bell, and please get those valid public watch hours up. I'm still trying to work on getting monetized, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm still working on trying to get monetized. The only thing stopping me is that either I need to get some short videos that are very, 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 very interesting, so 10 million people are watching them like every day, or I need to get the valid public watch hours up, and it doesn't look like either one of them's happening at the moment. So please help me out on that one. I would very much appreciate it. And like I've said, if I get up to be monetized, then I could do stuff like I want to go and make sure that food banks and and I mean, food banks have good food and homeless people have, at the very least, a tent to live in. I mean, that's not a very good house, but at least that way you could have a change of scenery. Um, I mean, they could have a change of scenery. Because, like, maybe you want to live at the park this time, but then you want to live at um, the place behind the grocery store the next time. Although I don't recommend that. Um, but I want to do stuff like that. But I'd also like to do giveaways. Like maybe, um, maybe the next person who subscribes or follows my channel, you know, gets gets the next book free of charge, or at least a discount. Probably free of charge. I'm just that kind of person. But yeah, I'd like to be able to do something like that, or like have a guess the or guess or answer the piece of trivia and you get something. But I'd like to be able to do it for, like, um, I would like to be able to maybe just pick one random person out of the whole thing and, give them the next book free of charge. But then on the other hand, how am I going to be able to tell somebody who, buys my books all the time and already has that copy? I wouldn't be able to know. I'd like to, maybe have hats with the pirate ship on it too. Um, like I would kind of like to have like a black hat with hot pink trim with a pirate hat on it. I mean, with the pirate ship. Um, ugh, a pirate ship printed on it, or embroidered on it, or something like that. Something that's gonna be comfortable, but still have the pirate ship on there somehow. Um, and maybe we can, I kind of want, I mean, I want the books to be my merch, not, you know, hats and sweatshirts and t-shirts and stuff. But, I like the idea of it being the, the hats and t-shirts and stuff too. So, I don't know. Anyway, I got a bunch of uploading to do. I spent most of yesterday trying to, well, I spent most of yesterday on Dreamlight Valley because I was trying to get the videos that I had made sometime during the day. I was trying to get them to download. And it was taking forever. And that was with an excellent signal. Now we got unstable signal, and things are things are going like that. So yeah, they're just boom, boom, boom. So weird. I don't think Twitch knows it's stable from its unstable. See, it says excellent right now, but yeah, it is. It actually is. It's doing really good. Anyway, I am gonna finish this line, and then I'm gonna quit dawdling and just saying stuff. Ooh, I just thought of something. Okay, so with lost memory, okay, yeah, I know I said I was gonna get to the end, but with lost memory, I was just thinking that maybe there's more to that story than what I wrote in there so far. Maybe it's like, um, maybe there's more of a story than what I wrote. Like an epic battle scene, and he got off the ship and got onto this island, and then this other person rescued him. And I know it sounds a lot like what happened, what Jack Sparrow said happened on one of the pirate, I think, yeah, one of the pirate movies, Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I have no idea which one, but um, or maybe it was they were like really close to New York, and by the time he got, like by the time he uh got to the shore, he had hit his head on, I don't know, the pier thing or something, or no, because I think what happened was that he got hit by the bad guy and he lost his memory, and like maybe he decided to get away, and like that's all he knew, but then he ends up at this house. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it'll be a great book when you get to read it, I'm sure. Okay, so let's get to the end of this one, and assuming that I don't come up with something else. Notice what I said, assuming. Assuming I don't come up with anything else, we'll end the stream. Although it'd probably be better to do the one more under that. Wait a minute. Yeah, it would probably be better to do the one more under that and then end it. Just so we have the water line established and all that. So I think that's what we'll do. Okay. Then I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try for 6, but I know I can do 5 without. And then maybe I can go in Dreamlight Valley after dinner. What is that noise? So you're not hearing anything on the TV? Okay, so there is. There is the noise of the bricks being taken out, and there's not supposed to be, but only I can hear it. That's so weird. Okay, I will see you in the next stream or video.